Thursday, August 27th. 68 days to the most important election of our lives. And I can tell you from what we're seeing with Donald Trump, it's going to get ugly in ways that we have not seen, at least not in the modern era of American politics. Last night was night 3 of the RNC. The ratings were horrific. Trump is not reaching people. He gets that. He gets a few things. One is ratings. He understands he's not reaching people. So what we're going to see is more desperation. And I think we saw a glimmer of it, and we heard some Kellyanne Conway and Jared Kushner give things away today on that. What we did hear last night at the RNC was law and order, but no talk about Trump supporting Kyle Rittenhouse. That's the 17-year-old guy who drove over state lines with his gun, killed 2 people, wounded another. This is a young guy who was, there's no disputing, he's a big Trump fan. He was at a Trump event sitting right in the front row. You know how hard it is to get a seat near the front of a Trump event? Also a big fan of the police. So he had Trump all the time. Thought Black Lives Matter is a symbol of hate. It's a Marxist group, a threat to this country. This young guy was radicalized by Donald Trump to go there. Now, did Donald Trump or any Republican last night denounce this young man? Of course not. They're never going to denounce him. They need him. They need violence. And don't take my word for it. Take the words of Kellyanne Conway, who literally said on Fox News today, and I'll quote her so you get it exactly. She said, the more chaos and anarchy and violence reign, the better it is for those who, the clear choice for who's best on public safety and law and order. So to Kellyanne Conway, the more chaos and violence, the better it is for Donald Trump because he's the law and order guy. Jared Kushner added the unrest in Minneapolis following George Floyd's murder could tip Minnesota in Trump's direction. They are literally telling us today they want more violence. And Joe Biden called that out in an interview on MSNBC. They are telling us they want violence. And they're going to deliver violence. And here's the thing. This is not foreign for Donald Trump to do this. Donald Trump loves violence. He began it in the campaign. And why does Donald Trump love violence? Because he's a wannabe fascist. And I mean that in an academic sense of fascism. Madeleine Albright, in her great book called Fascism, talked about what fascists are about. She said, tell me if this sounds familiar. She said, fascists aren't actually trying to solve problems. They want to exacerbate problems and deepen divisions among people. In the end, they're about stirring people up and giving them someone to hate. And then on violence, this is really important. Madeleine Albright said, violence is a crucial element of fascism. Whatever else it is, fascism involves the endorsement and use of violence to achieve political goals and stay in power. That's what Trump's doing. It's about staying in power. And again, Donald Trump has done this to the campaign. 2016, yelling, punch him in the face, I'll pay your legal bills. In the old day, they would carry that guy out in a stretcher. And it didn't end as president. He has literally radicalized people. I think there are ISIS recruiters who have radicalized less people to commit actual acts of violence than Donald Trump has. And I'll give you just a few examples. 2018, 3 guys in Kansas were convicted. Patrick Stein, Curtis Allen, and Gavin Wright. They were known as the Crusaders, as in Christian Crusaders. And what were they planning to do? Kill Muslim Somali refugees living in Kansas. And they were Trump supporters. And in the FBI surveillance tapes of them, they even retold the Trump story, you might call this from the campaign, of putting bullets in pig's blood, which was a mythical story by General John Pershing. They repeated Trump's actual words. Their lawyer, when they were getting sentenced, actually told the judge to be lenient to them because it was the backdrop of Donald Trump's inflammatory rhetoric, that's their exact words, which led to this. Even they said Donald Trump radicalized their clients. It's not alone, many more. The MAGA bomber, remember him, Caesar Sayoc, sent bombs to all of Trump's enemies. Caesar Sayoc's lawyer, in trying to make the judge understand what caused Caesar Sayoc to do this, literally wrote in his pleadings, in his brief, that Sayoc lived alone, he had become more isolated, increased anxiety, and he said, quote, in this darkness, Mr. Sayoc found light in Donald J. Trump. Another person radicalized. The list goes on and on. February 2018, a federal grand jury indicted William Patrick Suring, for 14 counts of plotting to kill Arab Americans. This is what we're going to see. This is what the election, Donald Trump has nothing else but this. So hang on, my friends. We'll talk about that more in my show, Sirius XM channel 127.